So this is a 2002 Ford Taurus that I fixed like a long time ago. It got it was involved in a front collision, so this side is pretty much broken, so I fixed everything there. I'm gonna show pictures of that later on, but I think I bought it around 100,000 miles for $1,000. And the only problem with that one was that the coolant tank reservoir was broken. So what I did is I bought a tank and then put it in a parking lot, and I was able to drive it home. And then I sold it to my friend, who later sold it to another friend. And yeah, it's been running like for several years. They rack up like around maybe 4,000, well, 45,000 miles. And so far the car really has no major issues. Transmission and motor is still running. The only issue that I did on this one was the fuel pump. Fuel pump was replaced around 100,000 miles. I think it's probably after a year that I sold it to my friend. So we were able to replace it really cheap. I think we bought an Airtex fuel pump, like maybe for $100, and it's still running fine. And then this year or last year, my friend actually had to have a shop replace the brakes and then the suspension at the front, since it's really bad. The brake master cylinder actually leaks on this one, maybe around 130,000 miles, 140,000 miles. So far this car has been pretty good, pretty reliable. It's also fairly easy to work on, but yeah, it's aging well. So today we're going to fix the coolant leak on this 2002 Ford Taurus. It has around 147,000 miles, and usually the most common problem with this is that the timing chain cover, there's like a coolant passage in there that gets corroded, and it actually causes coolant to spew out when it's hot or pressurized. So it's in this area. So we're going to take out the coolant reservoir, the alternator, this part, the pulleys, the crankshaft. I believe the power steering stays in place, but yeah, I'm gonna remove everything from this part. I think once we remove the power steering coolant tank, there's more space in here. And I'm gonna remove the wheel too, so that I could have access to the crankshaft pulley. So I got the coolant tank out, and it's time to take out the belt. So I'm gonna take a snapshot of how the belt is routed, and we're gonna take out these brackets, and then this pulley. Then the water pump is here, the water pump pulley, and then the crankshaft down there. So I got this 15mm bolts out. Then you got 13mm here. Take it out. So the problem with Ford is that they like to assemble the cars with different sizes. So this is like 13. So I really hate it, the way they design it. Why can't you make it like one standard size, like the way Toyota does it? Like they're all like 10mm bolts, 90% most of the time. Okay, got this bolt out, so I have to put the bolts here back in place, and there's one in there that I put the bolt back in place too. I think that connects to the probably timing chain cover. I think it's a stud. And this one, the 13mm bolts, and then 15mm. Okay, now time to remove the alternator. Should be to pry this off and then disconnect the wires. I have the battery disconnected already. So I'm using a serpentine belt tool to loosen the belt. Yep. So there's actually like you cannot use a socket. You need like an open-ended to do that. Alternator is out. Put it here. And yep, belt. See how it's routed straight there. And there. There's one down there. Straight from the water pump. So I've got the pulley out. It's 15 mm. So next is the taking out the tensioner. It's a 15. It's a 16 mm bolt. Yeah, another different size. Now removing the pulley, the water pump pulley. So it's like 4 13 mm bolts, and it just goes out. So here's what's left. You got to remove the bracket here. Then there's a hose, lower hose. Then there's a upper hose for the water pump. I'm going to remove that. And then there's also the crankshaft sensor, crankshaft position sensor over here. I'm not so sure where's the access for that. But yeah, these are the bolts with studs that we're going to take out. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And then there's like one more there near the old thing. Now removing the inner fender. So there are screws in here that you need to take out. 2 over here, and then there's one push clips in here, plastic one. So you just have to like tuck it out. Then I got the hose out too on that one, the lower hose. And then we're gonna remove this pulley. So got the pulley out. Now we have the, I don't know what they call this. I think it's the dampener. Yeah, the harmonic balancer. Yep. So pulley is out. Yeah, it's stuck, but you just like pound it out at the other side and it should drop. So yep, gonna take this out. So got this out. It's a 21 mm bolt. Okay, so we're going to use a puller to remove this. So I'm using the pulley. I mean the bolts from the pulley. 2 of them. Yep. Instead of selecting that one because they thread correctly. So yeah, you could put it over here. You could put it over there. Yep. Just 2 of them, and then clockwise should pull it up. I could just actually disconnect this crankshaft position sensor and then take it out from this one. And it's connected to this. I think it's being secured on that stud over there. Yeah, I don't need to remove it. So I think I'm ready to remove all the bolts now. So I have to remove the sensor so that I could see down there. It looks like we have a bolt here. I don't know what's the size. It's a different size, but the heat shield actually needs to be taken out. So I'm taking it out from here. It's a 13 mm bolt. So I got that one out, and that's the number 16 bolt. Well, yeah. Actually 17 sizes. So in Fords, you basically have to have a complete set of socket, otherwise you won't be able to take that out. So that's the one where It bolts also, it's a stud that also bolts to the heat shield. Yep. So once I took that out, yeah, coolant just gushes out, so prepare to have a container down there. So once the bolts are out, I could actually slowly pry this out. So I'm gonna pry this out. I have one here that won't budge out, so I'll probably try take this out first. Oh no, yeah. So yep. Now I got all the cover out. There you go. Let's see. Looks like I need to move this away. So I run into some issues, and it turns out that you need to remove this one. But in order to remove this, I think I have to remove the power steering. That's a lot of work. So I just like separated the oil pump and the timing cover. So yeah, the water pump is just like 8 of them bolts. Let me position that one first. I'll fish it out here. Yep, this is the water pump. So this is how I laid it out. So this 4mm bolts. Yeah, this tree. Yeah, those 3 bolts are there. Then this is how the perimeter is laid out. I think I got the small one over there. So the one with the thread sealant is here, here, and the one down, you don't need those threads sealant. And I have to remove the sensor too. Yep, the water pump seems to be in good shape for 145,000 miles. So this paper gasket becomes brittle. See that? And the reason why it's leaking over here, because there are no more gaskets. They don't last for more than 145,000 miles. Yeah, see, these are pretty brittle. Yeah, need to clean all that surface, and I need to do the water pump separately. Yep. I cannot do it like as an assembly. And this one, this is where the leak is. Yeah, this area here, take the gasket, pretty much like, yeah, I think this one. I think this area here corrodes. This over here, I need to put more gasket on this area. Then replace the seal in this. Yeah, the water pump is still in good shape, I think. Yeah, no noise. Yep, I even think that I need to replace it. Yeah, but since I have a new one, then let's install it. New seal in place. Yeah, I have to take out the old seal, and doing so, it broke my Harbor Freight gasket remover. Yeah, or seal remover. Yeah, too bad. No putting in the gasket. So there's dowels in here. So I'm just trying to position it. I put some Beauty Bar TV down there and over there. So we're gonna put in the cover. Now it's I put it in place, so I'm going to put the bolts in with thread sealant for the ones with the water pump, but I'm going to just put in the ones that don't need a treat sealant first. Yep, got the new water pump, and then the gasket. I'm going to put it. Okay, got the water pump installed and the timing cover installed. Got the bolts installed too. Got them torque. And then the heat shield. We turn this one. I need to tighten this, and the other one over here. Yep. I think that's it. This one is actually the holder for that. So I'm gonna return the sensor and then put the hose back. I got the 2 bolts, they're bolted. And yep, time to put the alternator, the pulleys, the crankshaft dump, the crank dampener pulley. Okay, put the sensor back on. Oh, I need to tighten the sensor is over here. Forgot to tighten the heat shield first. This one too. And the bracket for the AC compressor. Okay, sensor in place. Time to put the bracket here. Yeah, it's not clicked, but it should be okay. So got that area cleaned, and then got to tighten this bracket. Yep. Then I'm gonna put the crankshaft. So I'm putting in our TV on the key there for the crankshaft. Try to put it there. Tap to go into. Oh, we got everything bolted up. I'm just adding coolant, and the belt is there. Hose is connected. Yep. Let me see if I missed something. This should be connected. Yep. I just leave this one open so that I could see if there were leaks in there. And we'll see. So I've got it all buttoned up and tested, and everything seems to be good. No more leaks in this area. It could be smoking because it's anyway. I had to check the power steering. But I'm hearing a whine in this one. The temperature is good.